Welcome to my Sitecore Diaries, your ultimate guide to digital experience excellence, your go-to channel for all the things in Sitecore and .NET. So this is the video from Sitecore Headless video series. In last video, Nikhil has explained us what is Sitecore Content Resolver. In this video, he is going to explain us how to customize Sitecore Content Resolver, how to use that customized Sitecore Content Resolver. So I'm your host Jitendra Ghanekar. I'm in Sitecore Technology MVP 2024 and we have Nikhil with us. So over to you, Nikhil. What you are going to tell us today?
Hi everyone, I am Nikhil Vidhudi, Sitecore certified developer with expertise in Sitecore Headless development. Today I'll be helping you guys with custom content resolvers. So let's move to our presentation and then code. Let's start with our topic, custom content resolvers. Let's see what custom content resolvers do. A custom content resolver in Sitecore JSS allows you to implement your own logic for retrieving and serializing content for your JSS app. The custom content resolver offers flexibility when you need to tailor how content is fetched and presented to the front end. A custom content resolver is a class that extends Sitecore default rendering contents resolver and overrides the content retrieval process. The features of custom resolvers are that it allows you to fetch content based on your complex conditions. So sometimes we have complex conditions in Sitecore that can't be met with the default resolvers. So for such scenarios, you write custom content resolvers. You can serialize custom fields or related items. You can integrate data from external systems or API. Like if you have some external API and you want to take that data into your layout service, so you can use your custom content resolver for that. You can apply filtering, sorting, transformations for the retrieved data. So whatever data that you have got from the Sitecore, you can apply your own logic like filtering, sorting, or transformation, anything like that. So any custom requirement thing, you use your custom content resolver. So the question comes, when to use the custom content resolver? When the default resolvers do not meet your specific data fetching requirements. So we have 6 default resolvers as seen in the previous video. So where the condition is that the default resolvers can't resolve your specific data requirements, then you can use a custom content resolver. If you want to argument the data with additional information, so like if you want some additional information from other items, data or external systems, then you have to use a custom content resolver. Or if you want to apply some custom business logic to the fetched and serialized content. So you are fetching the content from Sitecore item and you want to apply some business logic to there. So you can use custom content resolvers for that. I hope this custom content resolver requirements and when to use is clear. And also when you need complex querying that isn't covered by built-in resolvers. So if you want to query some data in the Sitecore items that is not covered from the built-in resolvers, you can always use custom content resolvers. Let's see how to create a custom content resolver. So to create a custom content resolver, we extend the class that rendering content resolver in Sitecore and we override the method resolve content and we put our own logic to that. So to create the custom content resolver, we have 4 steps. So the first step is that we create we create one CS file and we extend that rendering content resolver and we override that method. We have a method called resolve content and we override that and put our own logic to that method. We'll see that in the demo also, how to create that. But for now, in the same video, you'll see that. Then you have to register the custom content resolver. So once the code is ready, then you have to create your item, and you have to register your code to your Sitecore item. Then you have to assign your resolver to the rendering. So once your custom content resolver is ready, then you have to assign that particular resolver to a rendering, that which rendering will use your custom content resolver, and then you can see your custom implemented serialized data. So in the 4 steps, you can create your custom content resolver. The first step is creating that CS file and overriding that resolve content method. Second one is create a resolver item and register your code with that item. Third one is assign that resolver to a rendering. And the final step, you can check your implemented custom serialization data. Let's move to a demo. I'll share my screen quickly. So guys, let's start with our code. So as you can see, I have created one project, my Sitecore Diaries.feature, and inside that I have created one folder, custom content resolver, with a file resolver.cs. This is a basic CS file, and we have created one class, context item children with data source. So in Sitecore, we already have 2 resolvers, data source resolver and context item children resolver. So what if we want to resolve context item children, that too with data source? So for that requirement, we have to create one custom content resolver for our specific requirements. So let's start with our code. The very first thing required for this is inheriting that layout service configuration and layout service item rendering dot content resolvers. So we have a rendering content resolver. We will inherit this, and then we will override our method, override object resolve content. So as communicated in the PPT, that we have to override this resolve content method. So this is a method responsible for serializing our data and processing our data. So in this rendering content resolver, if you go to the definition, you can see we have multiple methods resolve content. So this method resolves our content. We have get context item. So this method is responsible for getting the context item. So if you put your rendering into any item and you put your resolver to particular rendering, so that that requested item becomes the context item, and this will fetch the context item. This is the process item. So if you want to serialize your items, you just put your items in this process items and it will serialize it. Then you have this process item. So this is process items and this is process item. So this take the list of items and this take just one item. Now let's go back to our code. We'll start with try. Then we have catch. So let's start with item, context, item. So we will first get the context item. Context item. Rendering config, and then we'll get the data source field as well. So we'll get that string data source equals to rendering dot data source, and we'll apply if data source does not equals to null, then we'll get that data source item. Data source item context dot, we have context dot database dot get item data source. So now we got the context item and the data source item. So we will resolve the data source item and we'll create one J object here. J object, we'll create J object. Now we'll create as J object and we'll put that data source item dot name, data source item dot name as then we'll use this J token, then we'll use this method, this dot process item. So we have this method called process item and we can put our item in that, just like this data source item. It will take rendering configuration. So now we'll get our data source item processed in a J object and the value will be data source item name, or you can just hard code it like data source. Okay, so now we have done that. Now we will get the children of our context item. So if context item dot children, we'll use for each item in context item dot children, and we'll use we'll create one J array as well. We'll create J array children J array. We'll add as children dot add, then we'll use this dot process item rendering configuration. Okay, then what we'll do, we'll put it in J object context, we'll put as context item children as children. Okay, now we are finally returning J object, and in catch we'll put some error exception. We'll take the exception X, then we'll put some log dot error, then we'll put error in, and we'll put as name of, we'll put our this to this. We did a mistake here. Okay, that should be then we'll put as exception, then this. So yes, we are good. Return J object. Okay, so we'll just build this thing up. And we'll put it in the Sitecore instance. So we are done with our code, and once this is done, we'll put this DLL into our bin folder of our Sitecore instance, and then we'll see the configuration in Sitecore. As you see, it is done. The build is completed. This is our build. Sitecore Diaries feature. Then we are going to our initpub instance bin, and we'll put it there. My Sitecore Diaries feature, we put it in our initpub. Then we'll go to our Sitecore instance. So guys, I have loaded my Sitecore instance. I have put on the DL into the bin folder. So let's do the setup in the Sitecore environment. So we'll go to System, Modules, Layout Service, Rendering Content Resolvers. I have created one folder custom, and under that custom folder, I will create one rendering content resolver item, and I'll name it as context item children with data source. So context item children with data source. We'll use the type. The type will be this namespace dot this class name, comma, space, and the name of our DLL. So the name is Sitecore, my Sitecore Diaries feature. So we have saved this, and we will use this context item. We'll just tick this. Now we'll go to our item. We'll request this finance item. and these two are the children that we are requesting. We'll add one data source also. We'll go to presentation, details, home, and the data source is already set. It is coming from data global finance card 1. Data global finance card 1. So card 1 is our data source, and these two are the children requested. So this is our context item, finance is our context item, these are two children, and this is the data source. So we want data of all three, 1, 2 and this one. We'll go to our rendering, layout, rendering, feature, hero banner. Then we'll go to rendering content resolver field, and we'll choose our resolver, context item children with data source. We'll just save it, and we'll just reload our layout service. So as you can see in our layout service, under main we have a component called hero banner, and we are getting the field as data source. So this is our data source field and context item children. So card 1 and card 2. Card 1 or card 2. This is our context item. Card 1 and card 2 are coming, and our data source is also coming. You see, this is our data source item ID, and this is our data source. So we created two objects in our custom content resolver code. One is data source, and the other one is context item children. So both are appearing. Data source is taking resolving the data of data source, and context item children is resolving the data of context item children, as you can see in the code again. So this is data source and this is context item children. So as per the requirements, you can write your own code, you can fetch data from external API, you can apply your all business logic and get the serialized data as you want. So that was done for the day, and that was custom content resolvers for you. Thank you guys. Hope you all have a good day. Over to you, Jitendra. You can take it from here.
Thank you, Nikhil, for this wonderful demo and the explanation. So we are going to have more videos with Nikhil in the Headless series. If you like this video, please click on a like button to share this with your friends and colleagues. Till now, if you are not subscribed to the channel, then consider subscribing to the channel and click on that notification bell to get latest update. Thank you. Thanks for watching.